Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our presentation on a reading lesson based on the real team at work. Our group members consist of Avila Buru, Chanel Singh, Elise Carrera Lamont, Emily Adali, and myself, Divya Manu. This reading lesson focuses on the 5 components of reading, which include phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension.
Here we will have the pre-reading activity for the lesson. Pre-reading activities play an important role in a reading lesson. Every reading lesson should start with activities to activate background knowledge and a series of activities to prepare students for the reading. Pre-reading activities help students prepare for the reading activity by activating the relevant schemata and motivating them to read. These activities can also help learners anticipate the topic, vocabulary, and possibly important grammar structures in the text. So, we would have done all these letter sounds in the previous sessions. And as a pre-reading activity for this lesson, students would be asked to look around the classroom and spot the words with the following letters and read them out loud. These letter sounds are included in the passage, where OY and OI made the sound OI, OU and OW made the sound OW, and AU and AW made the sound O.
Read aloud and oral reading. The real team at work. Roy has a new brown and yellow toy truck. It rolled down the side of the house and was soon out of sight. Joy found it behind the townhouse. Paul and Roy began to haul the toy truck round and round the house. Paul played the clown and made a shout to drown out the noise of the lawnmower. Their aunt told them it was time to have their shower, but Paul asked for a few more minutes to bounce his ball like a clown. Soon the ball went high up into Mrs. Downer's pawpaw tree and knocked down a fruit. He hurt his elbow when he tried to crawl into the hole in the ground. Paul had to pay for the spoilt fruit with the money from his coin box. Aunt Audrey put some ointment on his elbow. Now he does not play the clown anymore. This text was taken from Get Set Ready to Go by Hyacinth E. McDowell. The first component is phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is the ability to listen for, manipulate, and identify individual phonemes in a word. Phonemic awareness involves sounds in spoken words. So for this phonemic activity, students should turn to their partner, say the word, and listen to the sounds in each word. Then write the sounds into each Elkonin box correctly. Number 1, Roy, R, Oi. Number 2, Joy, J, Oi. Number 3, Toy, T, Oi. Number 4, Brown, B, R, O, N. Number 5, Down, D, O, N. Number 6, Clown, K, L, O, N. Number 7, Drown, D, R, O, N. Number 8, Mower, M, O, A. Number 9, Shower, Sh, O, A. Number 10, Coin, K, O, N. Number 11, spoiled, oiled. Number 12, ointment, oint, ent.
Moving on to the phonics component. In order to develop a complete understanding of the English language, children must be able to grasp and master key skills. They must be able to recognize letters. They must be able to turn these letters into words. And they must be able to turn words into sounds and make sense of these sounds. It is essential for children to learn the relationship between letters and sounds due to the fact that the English language relies heavily on letters to represent sounds. Phonics is the process of teaching children how to achieve this. Throughout phonics learning, children are taught to identify letters and subsequent sound that accompanies that letter. What's more, they learn how a change in letter order affects a word's meaning. Put simply, phonics is a method that helps children decode words using sounds or phonemes to give them their correct name. So for this lesson, upon reading the passage 2 times, students would be asked to identify all the words with the oi sound and write them in the correct column in the worksheet that will be provided by the teacher. Following by turning to their nearest partner, reading the words to each other and discussing their differences. And here we have a sample of the worksheet that will be provided by the teacher, where students have to identify the oi words and classify them into the correct column depending on their spelling.
Fluency. Fluency is defined as the ability to read with speed, accuracy, and proper expression. Children should be able to read at a steady and timely pace. For this activity, the students will be asked to read the following sentences 3 times. For each reading attempt, the student's partner will record the amount of time passed using the stopwatch provided. The sentences read, their aunt told them it was time to have their shower, but Paul asked for a few more minutes to bounce his ball like a clown. Soon the ball went high up into Mrs. Downer's pottery and knocked down a fruit. He hurt his elbow when he tried to crawl into the hole in the ground. Paul had to pay for the spoiled fruit with the money from his coin box. Each attempt is recorded by the student's partner. This will show the student's fluency ability.
Vocabulary is important in reading as beginner readers must use the words they hear orally to make sense of the words they see in print. Vocabulary is key to reading comprehension. This activity was chosen for students to choose the appropriate meaning for the words listed. The words were taken from the passage directly so students can understand the meaning of the words and the passage much better. For example, a ball that moves up and down quickly would be bounce. Number 2, moving forward with your hands and knees would be crawling. Number 3, a home in a community would be townhouse. And number 4, a machine used to cut grass would be a mower. Number 5, a cream used for cuts would be ointment. Number 6, fruits that are rotten would be spoiled. Number 7, not able to see would be sight. And number 8, to be loud would be shout.
Comprehension. Reading comprehension instruction shows students how to think about a text in various ways. These comprehension strategies include teaching them how to retell and summarize the author's idea, how to determine the main idea of a passage, how to visualize author ideas, and even question and evaluate the author's choices. We then teach students to make connections during and after reading within that text and among others, and how to synthesize bigger ideas after reading. These five questions were developed in accordance to the short passage. 1. Where did Roy's toy truck go? 2. Where did Paul and Roy hold the toy truck? 3. Where whose purple tree did the ball went up into? 4. Who paid for the spoiled fruit? 5. What did Auntie Audrey put in Paul's elbow? Close activity. Close is a reading comprehension activity in which words are omitted from a passage and students are required to fill in the blanks. Students not only gain a greater understanding of the concepts introduced in the text, but they improve and expand multiple skills, such as vocabulary, language skills, knowledge, fluency, and context clues. Here is a cloze activity where students must choose the correct word for each blank space in the passage. As we come to the end of our short presentation on our reading lesson, we thank you for your time and attention. Thank you. Any questions?